Shri Ravi Shankar, a global humanitarian and spiritual leader and founder of The Art of Living. Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry in Warsaw. The Art of Living turns 40 this year. Could you give us a short introduction to how it all started?
You know, I was teaching yoga meditation even in my teenage. But well, in 1982, 81, 82, I felt that there is something more I had to do. Not just meditation, yoga is not enough, but there must be some transformative experience that people should have. You know, something that can bring transformation in one's life. Then I took a 10-day silence. At the end of that, I started teaching what today is known world as Sudarshan Kriya. And these exercises combined with few wisdom points made a huge impact in society. So it all started in the beginning just word of mouth. You know, people liked it and they sent their friends, and it just went on like that. And then I thought, when this is so useful for people in all walks of life, I cannot limit it to India alone. It should be shared with the whole world. And then people from all over the world started sharing it and experiencing it. And I created lots of teachers. Today we have more than 30,000 teachers around the world. And they all are helping people. And combined with this, we are also taking up all the service projects, social service activity. My goal is to make people realize, look, this is a short period we are on the planet Earth. Our garments have more shelf life than our body. So we must take care of our body, we must take care of our environment, and we must be happy. We have to take care of our mind. This is something very important, that we tend to ignore our mind. You know, so we get so stressed, and we reel in violence in society. And here is something which can help you to come over these tendencies.
And Gurudev, it's not easy to be happy for my people, for Ukrainians. And I know that the Art of Living did and does a lot for Ukrainians, for Ukrainian refugees here in Poland and all over the Europe and all over Europe and all over the world. And on behalf of Ukrainians, I can really say that we appreciate it. As I understood, you came here. This was one of the reasons why you came here to Poland, to support the members of different members of the Art of Living, and to underline this help to Ukrainians and to meet Ukrainians also here. But as well as I know, the other reason probably of your visit here is some hope or intention to mediate in negotiations between Ukraine and Russia, between Zelensky and probably Putin. And of course, you'd be happy, everybody will be happy to solve this situation, to solve this tragedy. That's why I would like to ask you a question about the ways of this solution, about the possibility of, even about the possibility of negotiations, because after Bucha, after Borodyanka, Mariupol, still, which is still in a terrible tragedy, Ukrainians, most of the Ukrainian population, Ukrainian society, do not believe in possibility of negotiations, and Ukrainians think that they have nothing in common with Russians who raped, who murdered, who who plundered Ukraine and Ukrainian people. How would you comment this? How would you, in what area you see the possibility of compromise, probably? And asking you about that, I would, I would like to ask you, I would like to quote here a prominent Israeli Prime Minister, Kiev-born Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir. She said about Israeli situation, we want to live, our neighbors want us to see that, and there is a small room for compromise. Is compromise possible here, and is there any way to negotiation which can lead to compromise?
We have seen over and again, war is not a solution for anything. And crime against humanity should be condemned by all means, by everybody. Any sane human being says no crime can be condoned. It has to be condemned. Having said that, I would say dialogue is the way forward. Conflicts arise. Conflict arise in family, within a person, in the institutions, in between nations. But the way forward, I think, is dialogue. People should sit down on the table. Now, here, I would say it is possible when the tempers are high, dialogues don't continue further. It starts breaking down. And with my experience in the past, in many negotiations, I say, if I can be there, if I can be an observer, I can douse the fire and allow the dialogue to continue and to find some solution to this. My coming here and giving this call, Stand for Peace, is mainly connected with the current situation. See, it is now people feel so helpless. Everyone wants to help the victims, to resolve the conflict, but people feel so helpless. So in this state of helplessness, there is so much negativity, self-doubt, and the energy goes down. So I would say if everyone says, I stand up for peace, they have something to do. We need mental strength now. I appreciate Ukrainians at this time. They are quite resilient. They are quite mentally strong. And I would like them to become even stronger. And I would say, with all our prayers, this war will end quite soon. And we hope to see all the refugees return back to their homes safely. Yesterday I met quite a few of the people, Ukrainians here in Poland. I don't like to call them refugees, the displaced people from Ukraine. I met them here and I told them, I assured them, next Easter they will celebrate in their homes. Though many parts of Ukraine is razed to ground now, I am sure we will see a very vibrant, well-built Ukraine coming up, more prosperous Ukraine coming up. We have seen in the past, Germany, after the World War, Germany was in total devastation. But it came out like phoenix. It came back to power. In the same way, I would expect Ukraine also to come back more vibrant, more prosperous, and a more happy place. And I'm here to help people with trauma and traumatic experience to trauma relief camps. We do many programs for displaced people to get back to themselves and to become mentally, emotionally strong. I am all there for them.
Talking about meditation, talking about peace and dialogue. Yesterday on Sunday, you had a meeting in Warsaw with thousands of your students. You were meditating for peace just a few hundred kilometers from the war-torn Ukraine. Kiev from Warsaw is just hundreds of kilometers. It's not far. Sometimes being at the Polish-Ukrainian border, you can hear in Poland the explosions in the Ukraine. Was this meditation different from others that you have all around the world?
Yeah, we have done such meditations in several other conflict zones as well. We have done in Iraq, we have done in Colombia, where there used to be a civil war almost all the time. We have helped the internally displaced citizens in Colombia. We have done meditation in Kashmir, where there was conflict. So in the northeast of India also we have done meditations like that. In Iraq especially, I was there in Erbil when the Yazidis were in big trouble. The entire Yazidi community were cornered by the extremists, and we were conducting meditation there also in the camps, in the refugee camps. But here in Poland, yesterday we did a big meditation in the stadium, and it was open to everybody, the public as such. So a lot of people came, and they all felt, there is a hope, and they could get over this feeling of helplessness, hopelessness, to internally, emotionally empowered. And they could feel that now we are strong, we can all together uplift the voice of peace. The voice of peace must be heard loud and clear. Most of the people on the planet, they love peace. There are just a handful of people who are unconscious about what they are doing. They don't know the pain and suffering they are inflicting on the population, perhaps. So I would like the voice of peace to be heard loud and louder, so that the noise of the bombs gets silenced.
This sounds very optimistic,
Utopian, I
a
know.
little bit utopian. But what would you say to Vladimir Putin if you would meet him tomorrow?
I never plan my talk beforehand. I am always spontaneous. So at that time, I will see what comes to me.
Gurudev, as a spiritual teacher, you teach peace internal and also towards other people. And that's why, because of things you are talking about, I want to ask you about some fundamental dilemma. How to act towards people who came to my country and who murder my people, who rape, who enlarge and increase evil on this ground. And I have two options. I can to stop them or not to stop them. And if I will stop them, I can increase evil also by killing, for example.
No. I got your point. We can't take lying down when a crime is happening around with anybody. Crime should not be tolerated. There should be zero tolerance. Talk to them, tell them. If they don't listen, you have to take stick. You have to be strong. You can't say on the war field, okay, I just want to give up. No, you have to fight till the last breath. When you find that your life, your people's life are in danger, you have to stand up with that. Now, I want to tell you, not everybody is bad. See, there are Russians who are living in East Europe, in all these European countries for 15 years, 20 years. No, we can't label them all as bad. And we have prejudice. There are many people here who have good friends. They have been living for 15 years, 20 years. Suddenly, they feel they have been isolated. Nobody wants to talk to them. People feel sort of hatred towards them. Yesterday in the meeting, I also emphasized, let's not hate everybody. Let's not start putting everybody in the same basket. We should not hate the people. At the same time, we should know people world over, including in Russia, they have compassion. They stand for peace. So we must not think that everybody is doing crime. There are people doing crime which we should not tolerate. We should stand up against crime, against violence.
Recently, I met Stanisław Zalewski. It's a man who is 96 years old, very fit, very intelligent, with a bright mind. He survived 2 concentration camps, one in Austria and one was the Nazi concentration camp in Auschwitz. 600 days in total in the concentration camps. He's now 96 years old, and I asked him what he feels when he sees, after 80 years after the end of the war, pictures from Ukraine, when he sees tanks, murder, bombs, even crematoriums, the whole pictures from the Second World War come back. And he said, like you, he said, war isn't the solution. You have to try to find a dialogue. But still, I cannot see how you can talk with someone who does such horrible things.
I was faced with the same situation when I was in Colombia. And, that time President Santosh said, it is not possible to talk to them, the FARC people. And the only option left was war. And US had agreed, he had convinced Europe also. So he said, but it will pain me so much to bomb our own people. We would lose 40,000 lives. This is very, very tough for me. But well, what do I do? For the greater benefit, I'll have to take this role. But then I requested President Santosh, give me some time, let me go and try. Let me go to Havana, talk to them. He said, yes, all help is welcome, but I have no much hope on that. So I went there, I sat with them. First they said, no, you are a spiritual person and our ideal is Karl Marx. We have our religion. We don't want to do anything with it. But then they came to me, they sat with meditation with me. To make this story short, in 3 days, 4 days, I saw the change in them. They came to me in the press conference and said, we will adopt the Gandhian principle of nonviolence. And when that is possible with someone who refused to have any dialogue, I think it is possible anywhere in the world.
Will you have a meeting like this in Moscow?
I would love to. I would love to have.
But FARC members have an ideology, and it's not sure about Russia. But we are here in Warsaw, this hotel, are situated nearby the Russian embassy. Maybe some diplomatic steps have already done with Russian diplomats, or maybe from other countries. Could you tell about that?
See, I haven't gone much into the politics, so I do not know. My field is to empower people, give them mental strength, inner strength, spiritual strength. And I'm focusing on that. I'm helping the refugees come out of their trauma and give them whatever basic necessities, you know. I'm focused on these work more. You know, all the big nations, almost all of Europe and America are all into diplomatic talks and relationships. I don't know what is happening there. So, but if I get a chance, if someone invites me or if I get an access to these leaders, I would definitely go and request them, give them my idea, my sense into the situation. Yeah.
What is your appeal to all the people who are now in Ukraine and the millions of people who had to run out of the country and leave their homes?
I am with them. The whole world is with them. People have a lot of human values. They have feelings for them. So we tell them, Ko hamshe, we all love you and we are with you. You are not alone. And you will get back, things will get better, have hope in the future. There is a lot of empathy in the world. So believe in it, believe in us all. We will all, we're all there for you. Yeah? And let's pray that this sense prevails and this war comes to an end soon. Okay?
I would like to ask you about empathy. Maybe I really believe that such empathy in India is present to Ukraine, but in the present situation, could you comment? Excuse me, my questions are more political. Could you comment the ongoing collaboration between India and Russia now, after all these war crimes, when a lot of countries in the world try to stop some different collaborations with Russia, and in addition to that, India has a special situation because India has some similar points in this situation with Ukraine, because India has a conflict with Pakistan as well as a conflict with China. Would you please comment it?
Yes, India has its own compulsions, its own situation, you know. You have said it already. India has conflicts with these two major countries. And Russia has supported India in the past. In 1971 war, 61 war, it has helped India in many ways. When there was nobody helping India, Russia had come to its help. Having said that, India never condoned the war anywhere. India has never been aggressor anywhere, nor will it condone, will it agree for any war like that. So India has repeatedly been saying dialogue is the way. Though India is neutral, it is always taking the stand for peace. So this is very clear. And we will see. I think our government and our Prime Minister is initiating some big initiative to calm down the situation, to bring peace. I hope this will be successful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dziękuję. Dziękuję bardzo dobrze. Dziękuję.